Good evening. Today is the 11th of June, and this is a rather unexpected video. I didn't a week ago or so know I was going to be here, but this is the Haggerty Festival of the Unexceptional anniversary evening. This is not Festival of the Unexceptional itself. This is just a celebration of the fact that 2024 is the 10th anniversary of the event. And as you'll see, we've got some interesting stuff here. This is Bicester Heritage, and Haggerty have got a little clubhouse here. And I actually have been given a prominent parking spot in my Volvo because there's actually not that many cars here, which is surprising to me. But there we go. We'll start off with this absolute delight. This is a 1982-83 Vauxhall Astra Mark I 1300S GL. And yes, I said 1300S GL because the S refers to a type of engine fitted. This will be the 1.3 Family 1 engine with 75 horsepower. I have driven an Astra with this engine actually. I love Mark I Astras. They are delightful cars to drive. They're so much nicer to drive than a Mark III Escort. They both came out about the same year. The Cadet this is based on came out in 79. The Astra came out in 1980. This might well be a British built one, I don't know, but one I drove was an 81. That was just an L rather than a GL. It was a three-door, and that was built in Germany. This is just, to me, almost absolute perfection. You've got the upgraded wheels. I don't know if I was standing on a GL or if they're an upgrade wheel, but it looks great. The fog lights on the front and the back. It's brilliant. That's the sort of thing that should be in the concourse section, in my opinion, but I'm not the judge, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Next, we've got this Marina Estate in, I think this is blaze red, this colour, which is actually orange. 73, 74 on an M. This is the 1.8 Super. You can see we've got the B Series engine in here. And again, this is just absolutely fantastic. Obviously some sills have had some work, it's an old Marina, what do you expect? Got the original style dashboard that doesn't have the funny radio facing away from the driver. We've even got a rev counter in here, very posh, and those stalks, yes, those stalks, so many other cars had them. That is fantastic, part of the Morris Marina Owners Club member tower register. Brilliant. Unfortunately, as usual, we can't talk about this Land Rover, so we're going to have to skip on down to this Nissan Micra or March. This is a really early one, actually. I've looked at the registration underneath this Japanese plate, and it's, I think, a 1993. This particular car. I have driven one of these. In fact, I've driven a couple of these in my life. One of them was on the channel years ago. It was it was a special edition one, 1 litre. I can't remember the name of it. I was thinking 1 litre Tempest or something. I don't know if this is a genuine March or not. It's just a Micra that's had some badges put on it. I'm not really sure, but it looks interesting. We've got some more Cairn-Evans here as well. Then we've got a 1999 BMW Z3, and this has in dark green paintwork and a beige leather interior. I do like a nice beige leather interior, viewers. Got a beige hood on this one as well. This one I suspect is just a 4-cylinder one. I don't know. Normally the not V6, 6-cylinder ones tended to have the badges on them with the engine size. This one doesn't. I've driven one of these. Actually, the one I drove belonged to James Martin of JM on Cars. I drove that about 2 years ago. His was a 3 litre, which was fast. Also fast is this 2002 Alfa Romeo 156 Sport Wagon GTA. Yes, very, very nice viewers. It has a nice Busso engine in here, and I'm very fond of Busso engine Alphas. They don't always work very well, particularly. Several Alphas I have driven with Busso engines have always had some things going on with them, but that is a very, very handsome car indeed. Next to it is something also really shiny. This is a 87-88 Golf GTI Mark II 16 valve. Still got the wipers going the wrong way round at this stage. I can't remember if they corrected that later on. Have we got the sort of earlier or the later dash in here? Some in the comment section below tell me if that's the early or the late dash. We've got electric windows in here as well. Still kind of typical 1980s Volkswagen in that it's just very austere. Even in this model here with the electric windows. I think they were actually an option of the electric windows in some of the GTIs, but still sort of very sort of austere. A tiny little panel you can't really see with just LEDs in it with warning lights. It's just typical Volkswagen. Oh, it's got a trip computer as well. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll ask Mr. Quiet from Planet Auto, who's a Mark 1, Mark 2 GTI expert about that later on, I think. And we've got something that, well, we had one of these on the channel quite recently. In fact, I've driven 3 of these. This is a what they call the OG 9.3 convertible. This will be somewhere between like 98 to 2003. 2003 was the last year for these. Got a personal plate, so I'm not entirely sure. It's not like the Vigan that I drove recently. That was bonkers. I don't really need the Vigan personally. They are quite a lot more expensive than the standard cars as well. So the reason to just buy a normal one, as you can see, you lock the gear lever in reverse when you park it to sort of keep it secure, because that's the way Saab used to do things. But yeah, you'd be surprised actually how cheap these are. There was one of these, not quite as nice as this, but one of these at the auction house that normally you would have seen Barron's in their June sale, and that was only up for £500 to £1,000. It's bonkers. Have we got something else? A Subaru Impreza with a very interesting front bumper with Tommy Kyra fog light covers. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this particularly. I don't even know if it's a UK car. I can't really tell. Let's have a look at the back. No, I think the UK cars have a different rear bumper, so this is an imported one, being 94-95. And then for some reason, I've actually, because this particular event is not like the normal one, and there aren't any age restrictions or anything, I've been able to park my Volvo out the front, which is nice. Actually, in about 7 years' time, I'll be eligible for the concourse, but I might not own it by then, so we won't wait that long to go to the concourse section, dears. Next to it, we've got another Subaru. This is a Legacy 2.5 GX. It's had a very interesting sort of paint job done at the sort of lower half. Is this stuff for truck bed liner or something they call it? Bed liner that's been put on there, probably just to get the rust. And there we have some boxer engine action going on here with an interesting air filter and the intake pipe. That's a 2002. Then we have something that you would have seen in the thumbnail, a lot of you. This is 9192 Proton 1.3 GE. The GE was the absolute base model Proton, and I used to have one of these. I had a facelift 1.3 GLS, a saloon like this. By 1993, it was called the MPI because they all had multiple fuel injection. This one says triple valve on the back. This is when they changed about 1990 or 1991. They changed from the 8 valve to 12 valve Mitsubishi Orion engine in 1.3, 1.5. They were not called a Saga in this country. They were only known as a 1.3 and 1.5, or sometimes just the MPI if you're talking the facelifted one. Although people do call them Sagas now. Exceptional flat red base model. It's only missing a hubcap, and then it would be probably in the concourse section. Then we have a late TR7, this one. 81, 82 on an X. Have a look at the boot lock and see if there's a Solihull car. Yeah, it is Solihull car. And actually that's got a Coventry plate on it. That might even have been registered by BL themselves. I mean, this is right at the end of the time that BL existed. By about 1982, they were calling themselves Austin Rover. The company was still essentially the same. But yeah, by 82, when these were out of production, they were doing sort of really good deals on them. But yeah, it looks fun to drive around a summer's evening tonight. Then we have, I think this is an EK Civic. I get confused about the model codes for these. It's a successor to the EG Civics. This is only a 1.4 automatic. It's a 1999, and we've still got the original wheel trims on this, or someone's maybe found some. I don't know. It looks great. It's a little bit sort of, you know, kind of, how do I put this, sort of more original looking. It's not been modified, it's got some rust repairs to do and that sort of thing, but this is first of all Unexceptional, isn't it? You don't want the VTI or Jordan or whatever, you want a 1.4 automatic. And here we are. This car would be eligible for that because it's a 99. That's the rules. 25-year concourse. And then we've got a Citroen GSA. It's quite a late one. It was registered in 1985. It was built in 1984. And we've got the spare wheel at the front, like a Mark 1 Seat Ibiza. I've driven one of those recently, actually. Video's not appeared on my channel, but it will do at some point. And of course, before you say it, yes, Ian Seabrook, I think he's still got his, actually. He's had it for years now. I think someone's left the window open so we can take a look at the really weird dash. This is a Special model. Chevronics, of course, so everybody knows them. But if we look in here, we can see the incredibly bizarre dashboard with the wiper switches and indicators are all on the left on this pod, and then on the right-hand side there's everything else. I mean, one of those is the rear wiper switch. And then, of course, as he used to say, radio is where the handbrake should be, and the handbrake's where the radio should be. It's just the way that they used to do them. So quite late. The GSA was discontinued in 1986, so it's quite late on in the production of those. Then we've got this group of K11 Micros and then another one of these EK Civics. Hope I'm getting that right. This one is a 2000, and it's a bit more sporty than that last one. And we've got a side exhaust as well. I've still got a really basic dash in this. I've still got the really basic dash. Yes, pretty slightly like an S model, whatever that meant. But it's not that now. We've got an earlier one here. This is a pre-facelift. It's either a March front bumper or it is a March. It might have the bumper been changed over. 95-96 on an N. Got some racing wheels on here. Have a look at the back and see if we can identify a trim level. It's actually got like a Super S gauge cluster in it, or maybe the tailgate's been changed, but we got a rev count and everything in here. All mod cons. And then we've got a much more powerful EK Civic here. Same as the other one, 99 on a T. VTEC, so C non. Does that mean I've been duped and it's something else? I mean, somebody tell me. I'll show this engine again. What actually is this a 1.6 B series? Because the B series was the VTEC engine in these. It's got a Mugen colour on it, I think. So I don't know. Right, we'll go now around the next section. We might have a look at some of these older cars actually here in a while, but we'll go round to the actual official display. Unfortunately, we can't talk about that Audi viewers, but there's something else inside there that we can talk about, and I like very, very much indeed. Viewers, we have reached the epitome of luxury. 1997 Rover 825 Sterling Coupe. Look at this colour. It is fantastic. This has the 2.5 litre KV6 engine. Personally, if I were buying one of these, I'd go for the T-Series 2 litre. You can get turbo one of those if you want, or the Honda V6. It'd be a 2.7. But look at this. We not only have a beige leather interior with wood, we've got monogram wood as well with Rover on it. We have piping as well. Yes, viewers, wood and piping, the ultimate experience. We've even got cruise control buttons and stereo control buttons and all kinds of other delights. I would very much like one. I'd also like a Weathers original. I might not have that because that's not really fair, but I would like one of these very much. That'd be nice. That'd be me. So not so fond necessarily of the KV6. I would own a KV6 engine car. I would prefer maybe the 2.7 or the 3 turbo or something like that. I think they even made like a non-turbo of these. It's not the fastest, but there we go. And when we look out the back here, we've got something rather interesting. Now, I have actually driven one of these. This is a 2009 to 2010 Renault Laguna 3 Coupe. I believe, because it's a manual and it's a petrol, this is the 2 litre Renault F-Type engine and turbo. I think it's 205 horsepower in these, as was the one that I drove. Got parking sensors, that's quite good because the visibility in one of these is it's not very good. They're quite fun to drive actually, these. They look brilliant. They do, they are fantastic. They're actually one of the last of this type of car that was ever made. So it's like a non-premium badged coupe like this, which is just brilliant. I was really blessed to have been offered the chance to drive one of these last year, and I enjoyed myself. And we've got a car that we can win. 7778 MGB GT with some nice mini light wheels. That's good. I have quite an affinity to the rubber bumper MGBs. Some don't like the rubber bumpers. Some of you will say take those off, put some chrome ones on, or take them off. I think the compromise I think is best is to take them off if you don't like them. I think actually the cars look all right, but your opinion might vary about that. Do we have overdrive? Yes, we do. Well, that's rather nice. That is very nice indeed. So we saw the Mark II GTI 16 valve earlier on. This is the same year, 8788 on an E, but this particular car is not only left-hand drive. This is just, I think, a Golf. It's probably equivalent in this country to like a Golf C or something. Maybe even a CL, but we've got the driving lights on here, so I don't know what's going on. That would be like a front of a Golf driver or something. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Unfortunately, this MG6 we can't discuss on this channel. But when you have a look at this Orion, and this Orion has been modified. The Duratec ST. I think this will be the blacktop Zetec R engine, which will be the same as in a Mark I Focus ST. I didn't realise you could drop them in so easily, but yeah, this Orion is a bit more powerful than it used to be, and maybe the owner didn't particularly like the old CVH engine. I kind of understand that. They're not necessarily the best engines in the world, the old CVHs. I've driven a 1.3 CVH and it wasn't great. This though, very sort of max power looking thing, isn't it? Obviously max power in itself is a retro thing now, isn't it? That's an interesting steering wheel. It makes a full Puma gear lever in there as well, so we've really gone to town on this one. Yeah, Zetec 2 litre it says on the side of that. Yeah, 8889 on an F, that one. And then we've got this Lost in 7 that's been sort of hanging around. I think this is part of this list of cars we just have randomly kind of about here at Bicester Heritage, which is nice just to see things like this around. Also, there's just loads of new Polestars whizzing around as well for some reason. Polestar Bicester, I presume that's a dealership or something. I don't know. But when you get back to the topic in hand, we have this very nice 2003 Jaguar XKR. This will have the bonkers 400 horsepower engine in it, I think. Huge wheels as well, and parking sensors, because the rear visibility in these is quite bad. The one I drove these, which was earlier this year, was just a 97 XK8 Coupe. It wasn't this, but even that, I thought I was going to lose my licence in it, so, possibly not exactly the sort of thing for me. Actually, got a whole load of things here. The Motor Shed Limited Special Repair Shed. AC Cub replica, I don't know what year that will be. And we've got an Alvis. Is this like a TA or TB Alvis or something? Or is it even earlier than that? It's probably even earlier than that, isn't it? And then we've got another AC. That's probably again a pre-war one. Probably asking the wrong person to give you correct information about pre-war cars. The Lost in 7. MGA in Old English White. It's quite an early one actually, but it's not a 1600 or a twin cam. And then, ooh, don't mind if I do view, is a very, very nice Jaguar XJ. Now this, I think, is an X308. Yes, it's a V8, so X308. Northern Irish plate, so I'm not exactly sure what year that is then. Let's have a look and see if it's got a badge on the back to tell us the trim level. No, just XJ8. Yeah, some of them were like that. Personally, I prefer a beige leather interior. In fact, I prefer the Daimler specification one. But I've driven one of those already, so my life is complete. Ooh, we've got some more tasty treats around here. We've got some Porsches. We've got 3 Porsches. That one is a 2009 Boxster. That is I believe, a 996. I have driven one of these. It was the Tiptronic. It was a 2000. This is a manual. This looks very much like the car that Matt Watson from Carwell has. This is a Carrera 4. I think this is a Carrera 2. And it's not this one anyway, because I remember a registration of that. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed myself driving the 996 in December 2022 in the snow in Edinburgh. That was interesting. This one here, I think it's a slightly different generation of Boxster because it's got different rear lights. This will be a little bit earlier, won't it? The other one. I don't know what this Yaris is doing here. Why it's sort of been painted like this. I'm assuming that this is used for like motorsport or something. Is this a T-Sport or something? Or just a normal one? I've driven a T-Sport. It was fun. And then we've got classic Mini here. I'll have to take a picture of that for Mr. Bill. Yeah, Mark 1, 1967 Austin Cooper S. Can't remember what capacity engine this has now. Somebody tell me. I think it's a 1275, but I could be wrong. Like how much so many things. Oh, and a Jensen Healy 73, 74 registration with the Lotus engine in it. Very nice. And then next to it is that a Riley Kestrel. I think it's a Riley Kestrel. Must be from the 30s. Just some pretty good stuff around here. And then an enormous sort of pre-Jaguar Daimler. This would have been designed when Daimler was owned by BSA. Don't know exactly what model that is. It was like a DR450 or something like that. I get confused about these sort of older Daimlers. And then over here, we won't focus too much on stuff that's sort of like that. We'll look at some of these Jaguars over here. This, I think, was like a very late S-Type. Yes, it is. It's a 3.4 S-Type, 67, 68. By this stage, the Jaguar 420 was out as well, which was like another alternative to this, with a different front end and the 4.2 engine. But for some reason, they kept these in production at the same time. I don't quite know why, but they did. Another S-Type. Let's hope we can talk about this one, viewers. It's a 2000. Hope it'll probably be... Actually, the badge on the bonnet might tell me. Oh, it is a petrol. Good. Ooh. And it has a beige leather interior with wood. Excellent. And it is, yeah, the 3-litre V6. In fact, that specification is almost identical to the one that I drove in 2022. It's a 3-litre V6, also like this one. Right, and we'll just have a look at this Land Rover here. Is this a Series 2A or a Series 3? Because it's right on the cusp being a it's a K registration. Looks like a Series. Actually, the way to tell is a dashboard, really. That's the way easy way I find, anyway. Yeah, it's a Series 3. Series 2s, and that includes a Series 3 lightweight actually as well. They have the instruments in the middle at the bottom. It's not where you can't see them, which is fun. But anyway, I think that is enough for now. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below. We are actually going to Festival Unexceptional next month, viewers. Don't worry, I'm all booked in, everything's all organised for that. I might even be able to bring the Sunny to that, I hope I am. But we might not. We'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and so we shall see you again soon for some more incorrect information.